Hey everyone, we're here to talk about Kong Skull Island. I'm here, it's Austin, and I'm here with Brandon.
Hey.
And yeah, we're gonna talk about Kong Skull Island. Do you wanna give an idea of what the movie's about?
Okay, so it is
The
about
Vietnam War. The Vietnam War has just ended.
the Vietnam War. Yes, has just ended, and I believe what is John Goodman's character? Whatever he is, I think he's an archaeologist.
Um, no, he works for that group that finds monsters from Godzilla. Monarch.
He works for Monarch. Uh, I don't know. Did they make that clear in the movie?
Yep.
Okay, then I wasn't paying attention to that part.
Well, I mean, we did see it 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, but he's convinced that there is something on this island.
Something Kong.
Something on Skull Island, and he wants to go there. So he eventually convinces a senator, I believe it is, to allow him to.
And not with a Jolly Rancher.
Not with the Jolly Rancher, to allow him to assemble a team and get help from the Air Force and from the Navy to take them out to Skull Island, which is an island in the South Pacific surrounded by a perpetual storm, a hurricane. And
so it's basically like the Bermuda Triangle, and
basically,
that whoever goes there doesn't make it back.
Right. So they end up going in by helicopter, and they decide that they're going to drop bombs to map the island. But we find out later that they were just trying to draw out King Kong, the monster that was allegedly there, that they thought was there. They didn't know. So they do. They drop bombs and they find out that King Kong is there. He shows up and messes them up.
Yeah, and then stuff happens.
Yeah, destroys all their helicopters, and they're stuck on the island. And the movie is about them trying to get off the island.
So what did you think of Kong Skull Island?
Overall, I thought it was okay. I thought the characters, a lot like how in Godzilla, Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, I thought they were very bland. I thought we knew very little about any of them. And the two that we did get to know, Sam Jackson's character and John C. Reilly's character, who is a former World War II fighter pilot that was downed with a Japanese fighter pilot on the island, and they've lived together on the island with the indigenous people there.
Yeah.
We end up finding them later on. We learn a little bit more about them, and there's a little bit more to connect with on an emotional level.
John C. Reilly is without doubt the best part of the movie.
I would actually say that the best part about the movie is Sam Jackson. Interestingly enough.
Fair enough, but my thought
because I think he has one of the cheesiest lines there, and I just did not like it. I know you did.
Yes. So hold on. First of all, I'm gonna say I loved this movie. Yes, Brandon says that the characters aren't that great. I like monster movies. That tends to be the case. And I think they're fleshed out enough. Because, you're really just there to see King Kong mess stuff up.
Right.
And the characters aren't bad. They're just not, super three-dimensional, which, again, doesn't bother me all that much. Right. The character we came there to see was King Kong, and unlike Gareth Edwards' Godzilla, we do get that. Well, the second they get to the island, you get a lot of Kong.
Yes. Well, do we get a lot of Kong? Because from what I remember, there was one scene where he messes up, he destroys their helicopters and everything. That was a cool scene. And then there was one scene at the end where he fights that giant creature.
There's not a lot of. I wouldn't say there's a lot of him fighting things. There's a lot of. They cut back to Kong a lot. And he does fight stuff. He fights the what are they called? Skull crawlers.
Yeah, the skull crawlers.
They
show like a montage.
Yeah, there's like a
at
montage
one
of him
point,
fighting them.
of fighting like two of them at once.
You see him like eat a giant octopus, which is hilarious. You see him like get attacked by like the military. You see him running into Brie Larson's character, stuff like that. Like, it's not Gareth Edwards' Godzilla where he has about 8 minutes of screen time. Like, he is there, and I think he looks good. Like, there's no point where I'm like, I don't believe that he's there. I think interestingly enough, because they don't go with the original King Kong plot, as they shouldn't, because it's been remade
to death just 1,000 times.
No, I think there's like 3.
Well,
there's the original, the 70s, and Peter Jackson's. Okay. I think I could be wrong with that, but anyways, no, you're right about that though. We don't need another remake. But I think interestingly enough, instead of that plot, they go with the Moby Dick plot, pretty much, with Samuel Jackson being Captain Ahab, which I think is an interesting choice. And personally, I liked all that. I would put John C. Reilly's character over Sam Jackson's, though, just because Sam Jackson is playing Sam Jackson, which is amazing. But
well, Sam Jackson
does have that great cavalry line.
Yeah, he does. But he's playing a war veteran who has all these medals. He has been in all of these failed wars other than World War II. He was after World War II. He was in Vietnam and the Korean War.
Was he in that? I don't remember.
Yes. And and he has all these medals and all these honorary badges that he got, and he has nothing to show for. And he has nothing to show for it because the army keeps pulling out. They keep losing overall. So he felt like it was all that he's done, all he's earned, was all for nothing. It didn't gain the U.S. any more glory. So he sort of manufactures and looks for any way to manufacture this war with King Kong, because he thinks it's an easy win. He thinks he can bring this monster down and it's symbolic. We have won something. So that they can show and restore confidence to himself in his country that they can actually accomplish something and get something done.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that was interesting. And that,
like I said, I think it's interesting that they went with the Moby Dick storyline with him.
But I could see the John C. Reilly thing. I could see your opinion on that.
Oh, hey. John C. Reilly, in my opinion. And anyways, we just got interrupted by my mom. John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly was my favorite part, and he had my favorite line in the movie where he's like basically acting like a crazy person, and he's like
sitting around a campfire with a bunch of people,
and he's like, I don't know if I'm thinking or if I'm talking. And they're like, well, you're talking. And he's like, am I talking? Because I see your lips moving. And the guy's like, what? And then John C. Reilly looks up at him and goes, I'll stab you by the end of the night.
I'm going to stab you by the end of the night. Yes. He does have the most hilarious line. He also does have the most emotionally... the character you can most emotionally connect with.
Yeah, because he wants to get back to his family and stuff.
Again, like it's been like we've been over this. There aren't many to connect with. It's pretty much him and Sam Jackson.
But I don't. That is it. Like I don't dislike the characters. They're basically just like hero. Right. And I'm like, I want to see them win. You know.
Yes.
I don't think they're bad.
I think
they're archetypes. It's no different than, say, the original Star Wars movie where the characters are just archetypes. You're plugging in for a formula. Obviously, with Star Wars, it becomes more developed later on. But anyways, that's why I also don't really have a problem with the characters.
Those characters in Star Wars had like a backstory and something they were coming from and something that they wanted.
Not as much in the first one. What's Han Solo's backstory?
Well, his backstory is that he's just in this just to...
that's his motivation in the moment.
His motivation in the moment is just to get the money and get out. He doesn't live by any code of honor or anything like that. He's just sort of like he doesn't have it. He's like the cool guy.
And that's
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston in Kong. He's the cool guy.
Ah,
He's hero
he's
man.
hardly Han Solo.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But Han Solo is great. Anyways.
Yeah, this is definitely the better movie between this and
Godzilla.
in 2014.
Which I also like.
Yeah, I like Godzilla, but it took forever to get to that. They were trying to build the suspense and everything, but
Not everything has to be Jaws.
right when you try to build that suspense, you have to have good characters around it. And Bryan Cranston was the only one who was good and worth watching.
That's something that you can at least get behind with Kong, is they don't kill the best character off in like the first
Yes,
act.
yeah. So,
Which I was very worried that they would do with John C. Reilly's character, because I was like,
Right.
this is obviously the character that you kill off.
yeah,
And he didn't.
and they have a sweet moment at the end where he
Yeah. Well, yeah. And
well,
he's
we're
the
not
only-
going to spoil it, but yeah. So we'll just leave
Well,
it at
we've
that. It's a
already-
sweet moment.
We've already spoiled a lot anyway,
Oh,
so we might as well
don't.
just keep going on with spoilers.
Nah. Try to leave as much as we can. Try to salvage as much.
But we can't discuss this much without spoilers. Anyways, whatever. Oh, fine,
Yeah.
no spoilers.
So if we had to give this movie a grade on a scale
I
of
wouldn't
let's
do a
1 to
rating.
10, no,
No. Just, it's one of those things where if you give one movie a rating and then another movie a rating, and then people are going to come back and be like, how are they equal? You gave them the same rating. I just be like, no, I really like this movie. I'd say go out and see it, although you probably can't because it came out like a month ago.
I'd recommend. No, it's still probably out there.
I don't know, because I think Logan stopped playing, and Logan came out after
All right.
Kong.
Well, I'm gonna give it a rating.
Okay, fine. Brandon can give it a rating.
I'll give it a rating, and
Brandon
yeah.
gives it...
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
That's high for Mr. It's okay.
That's my rating for it's
Is
okay.
it because it took place in the 70s? Which, speaking of which, the music in the movie is really good.
Yeah.
It's not like... I hesitate to say it's doing the Guardians thing with the popular music. But it does it way better than
a lot of
Suicide
jungle
Squad.
rock, like Creedence, like a lot of CCR.
Yeah, and you
Things
get
like that.
Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Definitely.
Just a lot of like anti...
If you have the chance to see this movie, if it's in theaters, or if you can rent it on your TV or wherever, rent it.
Rent it
or
on your
just
microwave, Brandon.
Rent,
Yes, I'll
rent it
rent
where.
your TV.
If you can see it for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's definitely I think there's good action in the movie.
Yeah.
They don't do the traditional Kong like breaking the jaw thing, like what he does with the T-Rexes in each version of King Kong. But whatever, like it's not that big of a deal. I was just surprised that they didn't do it.
Yeah. All right. So definitely go see it. It's good. It's a pretty good movie. It's fun.
Very
It'll
good.
keep you entertained for 2 hours or so.
Yeah, every movie's 2 hours nowadays.
Yeah.
Except for Justice League, which is going to be 3.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
See y'all later.